Shiny Rayquaza helps against the Mirror Match to KO opposing Rayquaza EXs without being an EX itself, and to kill Black Blaziken. And here we have the
30 minutes of Poke Funness. Begin play.
here we have the game.
And we did not get a chance to see what Joe started with. Hopefully it's not Tynamo.
Yeah, that's always the worst feeling in the world. I got donked out of Philadelphia Regionals last year because of that. I got my Tynamo donked twice in a row. It's never a good feeling. But if you don't get donked, it's an incredibly powerful deck. We see lasers,
Catchers.
DCE. Oh, a fighting. This appears to be a big basic deck. Okay, good. Joseph was able to draw a basic Pokemon off of his mulligan, and you are allowed to bench anything you draw off a mulligan. So we won't be seeing a donk, which is really, really good.
Yep.
This will not be, like, it could still be a quick game, but it won't be that fast.
Yeah, it won't be a first turn kill.
Yep, and we see that Joseph does have supporters. He has I believe I saw Bianca and a Chorus. So we'll probably see a Bianca turn 1 for Joseph. And he has an Ultra Ball, so he'll be able to get his hand size low. So he's probably all fine. Ooh.
Okay, so not the best starter for Sava. He starts with Bouffalant.
That's really good for Joseph. Forces him to have the switch to be able to land her at Hammerhead.
He did start Tynamo, but Joe goes first.
Okay, so he won the die roll. That's actually a really good hand if you can get a switch into a Moga to call for family turn 1.
And let's see who he searches for.
I'm assuming a Moga, unless it's prized. I know he only plays 1. If not, he could get yep, it's not prized. Plays Victini EX. So that would have been his other option to switch into.
Yeah, Victini EX is a nice play. It makes the deck a lot quicker.
And it's a Garbodor counter because you can still power up your Quasi EXs under Garbotoxin lock.
Okay, so he goes for the turn 1 N. So he's going to end Sava.
Okay, so that was not a Bianca. I was wrong again. Hopefully we see a Sky Arrow energy or a Switch energy. That is exactly what Joseph wants. So we can call family, get 2 more Tynamos, get set up, and get rolling. Savo, what he wants here is a Landorus energy switch. But that is not the best hand from
struggling
Savo.
to get some basics.
Yes.
Joe did get the Sky Arrow. Now, does he have the energy?
He has the
Here's
no.
another Tynamo.
I don't think I see the energy. Yep.
Okay,
just
he
passed.
passes.
That is unfortunate. But luckily for Joseph, Sava doesn't have the greatest hands. If he attaches to the Bouffalant, I really do not like that play. I would rather see him go for the Juniper.
Well, he thinks
Landorus.
about it. All right, he goes for the catcher.
Catcher the Tynamo. Yep, there we go.
Yeah.
Just gonna Juniper. Hope to hit.
Okay, there's the Landorus. He hits Tornadus.
Yep. Oh, I think he whiffed the switch.
But he can knock out Joe's Stadium and get rid of that free retreat.
Yep, that'll be big. But I think Joseph has the switch in his hand, so not a big deal for Joseph.
And there's the energy to Landorus. But I believe Bouffalant will be stuck.
Yep, I do want to see him play that Verbank to get rid of the free retreat, force Joseph to play the switch.
All right, so here's the first Verbank we see today, and he does have the laser combo with it.
Yep. That 30 damage will actually be really big with that when he starts hammerheading, because that means that eel that Joseph will evolve that Tynamo into dies 1 turn faster. And if Joe doesn't actually get an electric out next turn, the hammerhead damage, he could just knock out both Dynamos in 1 turn.
There's the switch, so that will get rid of poison.
Yep. And Landorus, his first attack, hammerhead, 30 damage to the active, 30 damage to the bench.
So Joe did not want to use his catchers on the Landorus.
Yep. Oh, that's actually not that great for him. He has to use 2 catchers. I think he only plays 3, unless he changed it, but...
No, he did.
Burning 2 catchers
out.
Yep. He did get an energy.
Yeah, and an eel trick. It looks like he might do double eel trick this turn. He's got the level ball.
Yep.
And if he would have gotten the fire energy, that would have been more helpful for the Victini.
if he had gotten the fire energy, he could have potentially pulled off a turn 1 Dragon Burst to knock out the Bouffalant,
right.
which would have been huge.
That would have been huge.
But I think we're just going to see a Dynamotors to the Rayquaza EX and then a Call for Family, possibly.
Yep.
He's attaching.
Dynamotor allows Joe to take a Lightning from the discard pile and attach it to his bench.
Yep. And he just calls for Rayquaza EX.
Yep, so he has 2 main attackers out.
Yep. What's going to end up happening later in the game, he's just going to keep switching between Rayquazas and Dragon Bursting for 180 every turn. That's the goal of Ray Eels.
How many stadiums does Joe run, Ray?
2.
Okay, so he may lose a stadium or...
Yeah, that could be bad if he is forced to burn a switch every single time. Because you do not want to discard the fire off of Rayquaza EX when you go to retreat it. So that could be relevant later in the game. So Sava, Bianca's.
And he confidently lays down 2 Tornaduses. In the past, when Ray Eels, or Zek Eels was mainly popular, those Tornaduses were real big liability with their double weakness to lightning.
Yes. And if Joseph did decide to play Zekrom today, that could be really, really bad for Sava because Zekrom will just Bolt Strike the Tornadus for 240.
Yes.
Ooh, Eviolite is actually a really big deal here. It forces Joseph to have the 4th Electric Energy on the Rayquaza EX to knock out the Landorus. I don't know how much I like that second attachment. I feel like you don't want to land Judgment that much here, but you never know.
Okay, and there's that V-Create Victini, which will really have no impact in this game.
Yeah, no. It's tech for Klinklang, which there's a surprising amount today. But even with all that Klinklang, we still see big basics rise above it.
All right, so we have the second N that Joe has played.
Yes. And let's see. So Sava, he doesn't really need anything. He wants a catcher. That's about all he wants right now. But he's going to Hammerhead and knock out the electric either way. So Joe has no way of Dragon Bursting for 3 electric energies.
All right, so he has his fire attachment, first Dynamotor.
Yep.
And if he had lightning in his hand, he has the dowsing machine. All right, so he goes for
40. That's
40.
Did he have nothing in his hand? Really? Interesting.
But I like the dowsing machine play in this deck.
Yes.
Computer Search has been seeing less and less plays now, and I noticed Darkrai, Eel Trick, they're using dowsing machine.
And Scramble Switch has been huge. I think mostly every single Big Basics deck plays Scramble Switch now. It's such a strong ace spec. It can change the game single-handedly.
All right, so Sava's going for the Tynamo, try and get...
Yep. Going to get a knockout on the Tynamo and the Electric. That's going to be a huge play.
And Sava...
And he has...
Does he...
I think Joseph may have thought he played a supporter or something. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I think the only thing that's happened this turn is catcher.
Yep, so N.
Yep, it just ends. Just going to end here. Again, I still don't think Sava... I think he's just looking for a catcher for next turn. That would be huge. That's basically how this matchup goes down. If the Landers player can hit their catchers back to back to back, they're just going to destroy all the Eels and run them over. But if the Electric player can set up and constantly Dragon Burst, they can actually win the game that way.
I think Sava might have been thinking with that second fighting energy to place 30 on one of the benched Rayquazas and then do the main attack 150. All right,
to end the game.
Okay, there goes 2 Eels. I've seen some lists for Eel players run 2 Super Rod. What do you think Joe's running?
Well, We were talking about that. He might only be running one today, which would not be good.
In this matchup especially.
I think 2 Super Rods is a must. We were debating it. I advocate 2.
And with the dowsing machine, well, with dowsing machine, he basically can have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
sort of has 2, but it's going to be a huge deal here. He needs to be able to get back, streamline those eels.
Right.
Keep Dragon bursting. Landorus puts on so much pressure.
And there is the Zekrom. So
Yep.
we have the Zekrom in there.
So that could also be another route to victory. It's just by killing the Tornadus EXs and one other EX. So that's unfortunate for Sava that he benched those Tornaduses. I don't see the point. I do not like that play. I do not see the point in benching the Victini, really, besides the fact that you can't draw it now.
Right.
But I feel like he has 1 eel in play. He really, really wants to get more Tynamos in play.
Yes.
So unless his Super Rod is prized and he has no other Tynamos, then that would really be the only reason I would see to bench that. Even then. So Joseph ends.
Okay, so he's going to take out the Verbank.
Got the Sky Arrow. He has the dowsing machine in his hand, so that's always good. Actually, we could see him do 100 or not 180. Let's do 120 or 100. I think it does.
No, it does 100.
Okay, that's unfortunate. He does play Tool Scrapper though,
Right.
So if he discarded the Tool Scrapper earlier, you could dowsing machine for it right now.
Yeah.
But no, he's just gonna do 80. There's so many plays Sava has this turn. I wouldn't even be surprised if he attaches another energy to the Landorus and just KOs the Victini.
Right.
The best play for Sava would probably be to just catch her up the eel and just get rid of it. That strand leaves Joseph stranded. Not much he would be able to do after that.
And we can't really see his hand. I did see a laser in there.
Yep. DCE.
DCE.
Bouffalant could be huge later on in this game. It has the EXP share on it. If you can get another EXP share on the field onto the Landorus, that almost seals up the game right there.
Yeah.
Because now he's going to... I could see him hammerheading for 8 or land judgmenting for 80.
Okay, here's the play. There's the catcher.
Yep, there's the catcher on the eel.
There goes the eel.
Okay. Yep. But here, I could see Joseph dowsing machining for a Tool Scrapper if he has it in the discard, or getting the Tool Scrapper if he's creating for 100 to knock out the Landorus. That could be a big play. Because that's perfect math.
Yeah. And again, there goes 4 energies off the board if that does happen.
Yep. Well, 3, because the EXP share's on the Bouffalant, so...
True. So that's going to move to that. All right, so he attaches, and he's going to N.
Or, I don't think that was an N. I think that was a...
No,
oh, it was an N. Was it?
I don't know. No.
No, because Sava's not shuffling,
Yeah.
so... All right, so I think he just whiffed on everything.
It appears so.
What? Why is that a knockout there?
Well, he had 120 on him.
Oh, he had 120
so
on him?
180. Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right, and as Ray said, the fighting from the Landorus moved to the Bouffalant via EXP share, and Sava has a Bouffalant set up just like that.
Oh, right. He Dragon Bursted for 40 earlier. I completely forgot about that. So, okay. I'm just stupid. Sorry.
Okay, is that Mewtwo coming down? Decisions, yes it does.
Yeah.
There's the Hypno Laser.
Tails. Don't think it matters much.
And here's another N.
Yep. Again, I still think an EXP share and an energy seals up the game here for Sava. But this is Pokemon. You never know what can happen. All right. Eel catcher. Okay.
Yeah, and I think you may be right, Joe, that or Ray, that Joe's super rod is prized, and it only runs one.
Yeah, so that would be unfortunate. Like, there's really not all that much he can do here. He could try to power up the Zekrom, but that would take 2 turns.
Yeah.
I think what the best strategy for him might be to try to catcher stall. Get set up somehow.
Attention Masters players, could I please have Tyler Jones and Kieran Langle to the judges station, please? Tyler Jones and Kieran Langle.
Okay.
Yep, so here's the catcher play. Landorus with no energy.
Yep.
Joe goes for the Professor Juniper.
Yep. Depending on how big Joe's deck is right now, he could even Dragon Roar, I think it is, or Celestial Roar.
Celestial Roar.
Try to hit the energies that way, but that's probably not a good idea.
I mean, at this rate, let's see if he goes for it. Yep.
Oh. He could be passing, but, or he could just be doing 60.
60-ish turn, okay.
Now, this would be bad if he doesn't realize that Landorus has resistance to lightning.
So, right.
If he was going to Bolt Strike to knock out the Landorus, and then he realized has resistance afterwards, that could be very bad. But I'm confident that he knows.
Okay, so Sava does have the fighting energy.
Yes.
If he decides to go that route. DCE, he has options here.
Okay, so he attaches the DCE to the Tornadus. That's interesting. Oh, there's Sky Arrow
with
play.
Sky
so,
Arrow
yep.
in play, yep.
So you can just retreat.
Retreat that way. Then the Boufflant comes out.
Yep.
And Boufflant hits all EXs for 120.
Yep. So 120. He's forcing a play out of Joseph. And if Sava has the catcher for the next turn, that will be game. All right.
Okay.
So
all right, so Joe
Joseph
has
stuff
switch.
to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting that Zekrom active.
Yep. I think he has 4 prizes left, so he still, those 2 Tornaduses could still be.
But he'll only be out good for 1 card.
That's interesting. Unless his deck is so thin.
Okay, so he passes to Sava.
Okay.
Sava max potions, the Lander CX. No energy, so he doesn't have to discard anything.
Yep. If he has a catcher, he has game.
Well, he does have the Juniper.
Yep. He did use a lot of catchers early game, though, so he could be out of them. I don't think he used all 4, though.
Okay, we'll find out right here. Goes for the Juniper.
3. Oh,
catcher.
Yeah,
There's a catcher. So this is going to be game.
Yep.
Yep, good game.
Good game.
Sava wins. Sava's 4-0. Joe's 3-1.
Yep, still very strong performances from both of them so far.
There's computer search. Oh, interesting. So no scramble switch in this big
wow.
basics.
I am just wrong. I'm just on a streak of being wrong right now.
Well, we're not privy to these deck lists before these matches,
Yeah.
so it's anybody's guess what these players have or don't have in there.
Yes. So,
I don't know. I still like Joe's chances at 3-1.
Ray Eels could be a very strong play if there's a lot of Klinklang as well.
Okay, now we just went to Aaron Clark and Henry Chow.
Oh, it looks like they just finished, though.
But let's see who wins.
All right. Oh.
Let's see who signs this match slip.
All right.
Okay, it looks like Henry won. Did you get a chance to see the decks they're cleaning up, Ray?
I saw Darkrai from Aaron.
Darkrai, and I think Henry had Blastoise.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're not sure about that.
I know I saw Darkrai out of Aaron.
Okay, so Henry goes on 4-0.
Yep.
Aaron is 3-1.
And they're seniors, so I think they have 6 rounds.
Seniors is 7 juniors is 6 today.
Yeah.
And